So today I'm going to be eating some crow. This is The Show That Wouldn't Die, Part 3. My previous two videos were about Supernatural Seasons 1 through 5, that was my first, and Supernatural Seasons 6 through 11, which were my second. The thing is, at this point I'm kind of okay with them sort of extending the whole thing, because after all these years, Sam and Dean have sort of become my friends. I really enjoy their characters. I really enjoy their stories. That's not to say that there are certain things about the show that I wish would change. Like, for example, their whole, Men of Letters hideout, that fucking place needs to get burned to the ground. Legit. Because Sam and Dean can't have a hideout. And don't get me wrong, I think that in, future seasons that may come, where the place gets destroyed or for whatever reason they're not able to, dwell there anymore. But, the whole thing with Sam and Dean is it's they're hunting ghosts and evil things and going cross-country in the Impala and, swindling people at pool games and shit like that, opening up fake credit cards and surviving that way, renting hotel rooms. They're always on the go. And it's now that they have sort of a hangout, it's become a little too comfortable. It's not traditional. And it's also sort of they have, they have a base camp now. And it's also sort of difficult to believe that they can hop from place to place to place so quickly when they're always stationed in one particular area. I'm really reading way too much into it than I should. I'm aware of this, but honestly, it's more simple than that. I really just like seeing Sam and Dean cruising across the country in the fucking Impala and not really having a base camp, not really having a home. That being said, the introduction of, Mary Winchester as an actual character in this story it's really fascinating. It's actually, I like her character. I really like the dynamic between her and Sam and Dean. There was a part, more towards the first half of the season, where Lucifer takes over the body of this, aging rock star, whose career is kind of dwindling and shit, and Lucifer, brings new life into him and is sort of hey, this is my, and he's just being Lucifer, and he's got this huge following as this fucking rock god, and I thought that was actually really cool. The only thing is, I kind of wish that they had gone a little bit longer with that. I really feel that they could have flown with that for a while. Lucifer really could have gotten a following, becoming a rock god, and especially Supernatural and the whole classic rock soundtrack and stuff. I really feel that would have worked. I liked that. It was a little brief for my taste, but even in the better seasons of Supernatural, they have a tendency to sort of blow through things that had a lot of potential. Characters that had a lot of potential. They could have done a lot more. The detective from season 3, he dies shortly after they do the exorcism over the speakers at the jail cell. He'd been hunting them since season 2. I forget his name. Awesome dude. But yeah, he would have been a cool character for them to have bumped into later on in the series. And he had become a hunter. What a fascinating concept. And they could have really rolled with that, but it's sort of no, he finally sees that Sam and Dean aren't the bad guys, and then they kill him. And it's well, okay, right, I guess, So, whatever. That happened. It was interesting while it lasted. It was fun while it lasted. The goofiness, and even to some degree, the plot holes of this season were, a lot better or a lot less. For example, Lucifer now is back in his original vessel, the one that, he had when he was supposed to go into Sam in season 5 and shit like that. Who that actor, by the way, I thought was great as Lucifer. So I'm not really complaining that he's back in the body, but they did do the show that courtesy of explaining, oh, this is Lucifer's old vessel. Crowley did some shit, and now it can actually hold Lucifer. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. They start delving into the whole idea of the Antichrist, which is really cool, and it's something that Supernatural has never seen before. I will still say that maybe to some degree they should have held off on the whole God aspect. Last season, again, it was light and dark coming together, and there was a real finality about it, and it was sort of, but this show, in all God's honesty, I'm going to watch it till the end. It got god-awful during Season 9, and it has gradually improved since then. It's it's been like the stock market, you know? It's like seasons 1 through 5, it's like, you know, you peaked at Swan Song, and then season 6 kind of plateaued. You're sort of like, oh, where is this going? And then it sort of just like gradually dug down until you hit rock fucking bottom, which was season 9. And then it's been like gradually inching its way back up. And don't get me wrong, it's not the same as old Supernatural. It never will be. If they had left it at the first 5 seasons and that had been that, it would have been perfect. The show would have been exactly what it should have been. It would have been perfection. But that's not Supernatural, you know? And after all this time, they've gone through so much stuff. It's kind of like almost, I mean, at least in the future, I think it'll be up there with like, you know, Doctor Who, please don't kill me. But, you know, but like Doctor Who, and I mean, definitely like shows like Dark Shadows and shit like that, you know, that had like a bajillion goddamn seasons, you know. It's like, it'll be up there with that. And I mean, even those shows, they had their ups and downs. They had their like weaker points, like, but still conceptually, they were really good. This particular season got way back on track. They did a lot with the Men of Letters, okay, which I do appreciate because even given the fact that in the previous season, light and dark came together and balancing the universe, yada, 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 they didn't do shit with the Men of Letters. The Men of Letters were like the fucking Boba Fett of the series. It's sort of like they have this mythology that like they're hunters, but better. Like they have this, you know, ancient knowledge of all these fucking things and all these resources that the hunters don't have, you know, and they never did anything with them prior to this season. You know, and the Men of Letters are fascinating, and they actually make for a very good potential enemy in the future. You know, arguably worse than like a lot of the monsters that Sam and Dean fight. There were characters that were introduced that have a lot of complexity. All of them were really generally interesting. And another thing, and I gotta say, I do have to say, not for nothing, CW obviously at least listens to its fan base. Because there were several moments throughout the course of this season that they could have taken that dramatic route again, and they could have really, like, Sam and Dean could have really been like, you know, oh, I can't trust you. Oh, Cass? We can't trust Cass. He fucked up again, you know? But there was a line that one of them said, I think it was Sam, actually said, all right, this is not an exact quote, but the basic gist of it was, he said to Cass, after Cass did something really stupid that he should have fucking known better about, okay? Sam basically said, like, look, man, like, we'll work it out. We always do. But right now we got to fucking deal with this, you know? And I was like, thank you. Thank you. This is how they would be at this point, okay? They wouldn't hate each other. They've all fucked up. They've all done stupid shit over the course of fucking 12 seasons. They've all done stupid shit. They wouldn't whine. They wouldn't bicker. You know, they've gotten past that. And, you know, say what you will about, like the worst of this show, at least CW has listened to its fan base, okay? And this particular season has gotten a whole lot better. And they are doing a season 13, which I do look forward to. I'm eating crow, and I'm saying I was wrong, okay? I do still hold the opinion that if they had just left it at season 5, the show would have been, like, immaculate, okay? But the show is really fucking good. It's really awesome. I am going to follow it through to the end. And CW does at least have a respect for their fan base in that they have listened to feedback and have therein improved, you know, all the shit that we nerds had to complain about. Nerds and, like, pre-teenage women. But, at any rate, yeah, Supernatural Season 12, not bad. Look forward to the 13th season. And I'm really excited because I hear that they're going to do like a Scooby-Doo episode. It's going to be all animated. It's going to be like the Scooby-Doo gang, but Sam and Dean are going to be in it. Like, dude, totally down. Totally down for the idea. Yeah, that would be great. So at any rate, I will be reviewing the Dark Tower movie. And I have a lot. I really do have a lot to say. I've done 4 videos, one of which I deleted. Okay, but 4 videos about how much I thought this movie was going to suck. I owe it to myself to do a video, an actual review of the movie. So that is coming very soon. My brother does want to get in on this, so maybe I'll do a solo review and then include him. Maybe we'll all do a review together. We'll see. But Dark Tower is coming up very shortly, and also I did just watch Alien Covenant, and that movie was fucking sick, and I want to talk about that. But at any rate, thanks for tuning in. Later.